Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tech Check. Moving along. Got some more interesting folks. As you know, last couple of episodes, we've shifted focus, but now we're right back into the thick of the Pakistani tech startup ecosystem. And today I have with us Mr. Uzair Khan and Mr. Hassan Mirza from MoveIt, who are redefining the way city logistics are done in Pakistan. And from my experience, city logistics in Pakistan are very, very interesting. Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Farouk. Nice being here.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to jump right like we do every time. We're going to jump right in. So, I don't know who's going to take this question first, but tell us more. What's MoveIt all about?
Take that one since this is his brainchild. Hassan, why don't you go for it?
All right. So, Farouk, we conceptualized the idea about 2.5 years ago, or maybe a little bit more than that. MoveIt is all about city logistics in specific, and over time, it's taken us a long road. So it's been a long journey to sort of identify these very verticals and sort of go in with a tunnel vision approach, which brings us to redefining city logistics. First of all, when we started, it was just matter of getting the drivers that are outside for carry load and cargo vehicles, getting them on a platform, getting them more business, changing the way their lives work. Firstly, we began with, since I come from a textile background, I used to be running a textile mill in the family business back in Multan. So it was quite a hurdle moving stuff from point A to point B. Whenever it came to booking loads, booking cargo vehicles, it was always this, found this whole space, the logistics space in Pakistan, very disintegrated. So it was quite a pain loading a vehicle, and obviously we're talking about 10 to 15 big loads in a day, right? So it was always a challenge booking a cargo vehicle efficiently, where I don't have to go and haggle with the drivers myself, or even my transport guy for that matter. And then I got a feeling that our transport cost was way off the roof. So one thing was the price. The second was the convenience, right? In order to carry, let's say we're importing stuff from China, importing stuff from all over the world, or maybe for that matter, even exporting stuff, getting those things out, to Karachi, to the port, and back and forth to Multan, it was quite a hassle. So that's pretty much where I got the idea from, and we shared it. We started working on it for the past 2 years. We've been there, and again, it brought us to our main verticals that we are working on now, which is pretty much city logistics, not long haul cargo for that matter, because there are a lot more intricacies that go on within the logistics space. If a layman is supposed to look at the logistics space, might seem simple, but it's really not.
Okay, so how does it work today? Well, I know the traditional methodology. What have you guys solved? What are you doing?
It's actually quite simple, right? What MoveIt has done is replace the conventional way of booking a vehicle. This could be a vehicle for booking a load from your house, for your business. If you're a distributor, if you're in the pharma business, there are loads being moved in every business within a city every day. So instead of going to your local congregational site or calling your local driver to see if he has availability, or sending out your employees or someone from a house to go find a vehicle, we brought in a platform in the middle. It's a 3-4 step process. You're through to hundreds of drivers in your locality. They're outside your house or business or office within minutes. So we're bringing down the time of booking a vehicle from almost an hour to 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. We're solving, sourcing hassles for businesses by making it convenient to book multiple vehicles with us, where drivers are trained on how to handle their cargo, unlike before, where there was damage, loss, and no accountability. We're bringing in transit insurance into the books, where you can insure your goods while they're moving within a city. Because, you're moving 10 kilometers, but the load value could be $1 million. So what do you do if something happens? So we're looking at all of those things and making it really simple and, showcasing it on the MoveIt app.
Got it. And so how are you guys acquiring the drivers, the transport folks?
So in 2019, when we basically put feet into this sector, what we did was we went outside on our own and started talking to drivers that were on the roadsides. We started doing our market research. Eventually, we realized there are too many of them, so we hired these university students to do it with us. So we kept speaking to drivers, and within those researches, we started taking their details. We started, making putting data together. And today, Alhamdulillah, after so many months, we have 300 to 400 drivers who are ready to work with us in Islamabad. And since launch in Karachi, we applied the same methodology. We have 300 drivers already there. All they want is money, and we're going to make the money for them. So that solves the driver problem.
Well, you go ahead.
Yeah, Varric. So just to add on a little bit of stuff over here, because my main role in MoveIt is sourcing drivers, right? It's all about the supply side. So when you understand and when you understand the mentality of these drivers who are working with cargo vehicles, it's very different from let's say Uber or Careem, because those are taxis, they're moving vehicles, right? And these drivers are moving cargo in particular. And obviously, there are different, sort of, there are a lot of differences when it comes to these drivers, how they think, the literacy rate, and all of that, adaptation to technology and all of that stuff, right? So, when I speak to the drivers, when we make internal strategies, how to get them on board, we actually, I put myself in their shoes and try to analyze what would make me, go on a platform such as MoveIt, right? So, it all comes down to, as Uzair already mentioned, the road time and the money they make, right? So there are different congregational sites within cities in Pakistan, right, where you can get these, you can source these cargo vehicles. And what we're trying to do is trying to make a platform, a marketplace more like, and where these drivers are available at all times. And as soon as there's a trigger, there's a notification on the app that yes, there's a ride in XYZ sector, they get a notification on their phone, and they just get ready and go there. So at the end of the day, for sure, yeah, it's all about changing their lifestyles, their standard of living, giving them more road time, in turn, obviously, increasing their revenues. And these people, I've met so many people in the past 2 years, and you won't believe it. Like some of the drivers, they rely on their cargo vehicles for a daily wage, right? And they go 3 to 4 days, 5 days without a ride at times, which is ridiculous. As and on the other hand, on the supply, on the demand end, there's definitely a lot of work that can be, that they can make money from.
Okay. Well, that's great. No, that's good. I mean, it's definitely something we've heard of. And that Uzair kind of set up my next question. How does your revenue model work? And are you generating revenue now?
Number one, what we do is we source business. That business has a price. We put a margin on that price, a certain percentage, and it goes to the driver. So say you've booked a vehicle and the course charge, the cost of the vehicle was 200 rupees. We're going to put a 25-30% margin of MoveIt on top and charge the customer. For a B2B customer, we have models that are recurrent, so a monthly payback subscription model where they purchase kilometers from us. And yes, we are a revenue generating company. We're right now transferring our manual traction onto our platforms. So we're currently in that process as we speak.
Okay. And as far as the way you're generating this revenue, have you gotten any insurance cover? Is there any way of, ensuring that the drivers, I guess is the best way to put it, are certified and, reliable? How does that work?
Right now, we follow a really strict sign-on process. So if a driver wants to work with MoveIt, he cannot go onto the app and log in and start working. He will go onto the app and he'll book a slot with the MoveIt representative, who he'll go and meet the following day or the following week, where he'll be taken through a series of checks and trainings. Once he's passed that, then he's onboarded. We're trying to work out a way with Nadra to further solidify this, because these drivers will be driving some very important loads at times. So we're hoping to get more traction on other end soon as well.
Okay, good.
And in terms of insurance, Farouk, we are in talks with a couple of insurance companies who are going to make us, we're in talks with for making micronized insurance offerings, as well as for accidental health insurance for the drivers. So that would be obviously, a driver would be more keen on joining MoveIt and working for MoveIt through the platform rather than working in an individual capacity in the market.
Okay. Well, one of the last questions, competition. I've heard there's a couple other folks trying to do this. What's your view on that?
When we set foot, there was no one around, maybe a name or two in 2019. But we were following the Indian market that boomed in logistics in 2013-14. So we knew names are going to pop up. There's a lot of money in the market. And yes, we do have competition. But for some reason, no one's focused on intracity logistics, which is city logistics. They're focusing on the big money. They're focusing on long hauls. We're at a competitive advantage there. But it won't be long till they find their way here. But hopefully we would have made our headway and done some, good work before that.
Great. And last question, Hassan, what are you looking for from the diaspora?
Farouk, really, when we look at the ecosystem, the startup ecosystem in the neighboring countries, in India, Indonesia, Malaysia, for that matter, in the Far East and the subcontinent as well, it's really picked up in the past 2-3 years or 5 years for that matter, right? So as Uzair already mentioned, we look at the Indian market for a lot of sort of learning points and all of that. So when it comes to investment, I feel the diaspora could play a vital role in sort of help building the ecosystem, startup ecosystem in Pakistan, and help fund such startups, invest in such startups, and especially in logistics, and as well as other areas as well. So I feel overall this startup culture needs to be I feel like we're sitting on a gold mine, and we're at a time operating in a startup space where it's literally gonna pick up. Hopefully, fingers crossed with that.
Great. Well, good. Well, gentlemen, a real pleasure having you with us. As you know, we try to keep TechShek fairly concise and short. So we're at the end of the time today. So both of you, thank you very much for coming. Very interesting play you're working on.
Thank you for having us, and hopefully we'll be here again soon with some more good news and updates.
Look forward to that.
Thank you so much, Farouk. Pleasure being here.
And with that, to our audience, as you can see, we keep bringing you very interesting, nascent, big ones, small ones, all kinds of sector coverage. What really helps TechShek keep going? Like, share, subscribe, please, our audience, and keep giving me good ideas. I've gotten a lot from you lately, so we appreciate that. And with that, I bid you all Allah Hafiz.